Good morning, guys. Got the C8500 fired up. We got the old 120 loaded up on plan B, and we're getting ready to head into the next one this morning. Let me explain. So for you guys that might be new to the channel and don't understand what I'm saying, this is the trailer we call Plan B. Why do we call it Plan B? Because it's the one we use whenever Plan A will not fit where we're going. And this is the 11120. This is the machine I've owned longer than any of them in the fleet, and by far the most profitable machine I got. Got a lot of videos on the channel on this one. Go back and check it out. But the job site we're heading into this morning, I cannot get Plan A in. You guys will see it's a tight, windy road back in there. I'd prefer to have the 210 on this job, or maybe one of the large dozers, but that's just not an option. We're gonna have to make do with this guy. So first things first, Matt's got the Thunder Wagon fired up. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing greased, and then we'll head out to the job site. You'll see what we're up against. We'll fire up this girl, lay that boom out that way back and get everything to grease it, hopefully. I know. Just about got her greased up and ready to go. Man, I'll tell you what, guys, the old Thunder Wagon has already proved to be much handier than I anticipated. The reason why we're not taking it to the job with is smaller job, really cramped spaces, and we're actually waiting on a fuel delivery to refill it. You guys don't know, the family and myself own the market over here. Whenever they deliver fuel to the market, they bring a compartmentalized truck, and they'll drop me off fuel and top off the trailer. So whole system works out pretty good, but let's roll out. Fell over at some point up there, sorry about that, but this is the county road we're working down. This is the county road that goes back in here for almost a mile, one lane, dead ends, then it turns into private and keeps on going for about another mile. We've done a bunch of work down here before. Really cool video of pulling a barge out of this boat ramp right here. You guys go back on the channel and check it out. We've did some clearing back here, did some yard work. This used to be a gravel road, so we used to unload right here and then just track equipment back there, and it wasn't that big a deal. But they've recently paved it in the last couple years, so we'd have to mat our way all the way in, and that's no good. I have backed the semi all the way back in here before, but it's a pain in the butt. We still can't quite get to where we're going, so long story short, jobs like this is why we keep the old C8500 and Plan B around, because it makes it a whole lot easier to get equipment moved in and out of here. So we're going to go back to the end of the pavement, basically hang a 180-degree sharp turn down a hill, and voila, we'll be Man, you guys are having a hard time hanging on this morning. About lost you again, but good news, we have wiggled our way down in here. It's tight to say the least, but Bubba Dump D4 roller's already here. Let us get unloaded and kind of show you what we got, what we're going to tackle. Mr. Millennial, you ready to explain what kind of mess you got us into this morning?
It's not a mess. They hired the professionals. That's what this is. So we have a 50-foot by 72-foot pole barn that we're going to do a pad for. We're going to make it a little larger than that. For that pole barn, we have a 2-bedroom field bed that's going to go here, and which is limited by the 100-year floodplain because there's a creek at the bottom. And then once we get all this sloped in, there's a potential for an in-ground pool going off that corner.
So we're basically trying to fit 3 things where one belongs.
Half. Yes, that's why they hired
I think
us.
sometimes they think we're miracle workers.
We are. And don't you all forget that.
I don't know about that. So I think we're about 2.5 feet low on this end. What, about 4.5, 5 feet low on that end?
3.5, but we kind of moved the building.
Yeah, we kind of smoothed it around a little bit to make it fit in here as best as possible. So dirt's going to come from a couple different areas. If you guys can kind of see their house over there, it's not an ideal scenario, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. The driveway comes down, then kind of goes back up to keep water from running in. We're going to want to kind of do the same thing over here, so we should be able to steal some dirt from up there. We're also limited on that end because we got a few utilities up there.
Electric, fiber, and water, all.
Do you think they need them all? They can do without one or the other?
No. No, they got to have them all, man.
So the plan is take some of that hump, fill in some of this. We got the 120 and Bubba Dump down there. We do have a decent little hump of dirt down there we believe is good, so we should be able to haul that up. The ideal scenario would have been haul the 850 in here and just shove this out and be done, but I don't know how well I videoed it coming in, but there is no way we're getting that dozer back in here. I shouldn't say there's no way.
Oh, there's been a few trees.
It'd take us longer to get it back here than what it's worth. So we got the D4, Bubba, and the 120 back here because we can get all that stuff on plan B. Well, Bubba, we actually drove back here, but
yep.
All right, we got good weather ahead of us. It's Friday. Motivation levels here.
My motivation level is pretty high because I got something else I got to go do. So.
All right, I think first things first, strip some topsoil.
I think so.
Here's the view from the top side. Right underneath us is the electric line, so it may not. We may get kind of lucky on this end as far as it not limiting what we can do. So, come on, dozer, move slow. Let's get some topsoil stripped.
got the 120 fired up. We're gonna start digging the borrow pit. Mike is at the top of the hill up there stripping topsoil. We're gonna try to get Bubba Dump loaded up here and get the first load to the top of the hill about the time Mike's done stripping topsoil. Hopefully we got ourselves set up level enough that we can actually get some dirt moved and not have a whole lot of flopping around to worry about. Get the topsoil off of here. Everybody here on DP's channel must keep in mind I am no expert operator. I just do what I gotta do. So hopefully get some dirt moved. Mike said not to go too crazy with the first load, so let's head up there with this one and see what he thinks.
Mike's got the borrow pit busted open, first load on the truck. Looks like we're gonna have some pretty good dirt. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that darker dirt over there. That is sediment that has been brought in here from the river whenever this floods and laid in here. That stuff will not pack the best. A little bit of it mixed in won't kill us, but this lighter brown stuff over here, what you guys see up through here, that stuff will, it's excellent. It'll work perfect. So good news. I think we're gonna have enough dirt here. I've got enough stripped up there. Mike's gonna go ahead and take the first load up there, kind of see how this goes. Apparently there's an old brush pile buried right there, so hopefully Bubba Dump don't end up buried, but we're making progress. This is where this truck has really surprised me. I thought it'd be a game changer on the big jobs like that lake job we just come off of, and don't get me wrong, it was definitely nice to have this as an option to move dirt, and I'm sure there's jobs in the future this is going to be the cat's meow, but it has thoroughly impressed me on how handy it has become on these smaller jobs, which honestly, I didn't see that one coming at all. It's worked out really well on these small pad jobs and that pool backfill job. And we've actually got a small dry dam job coming up after this, but I think that guy right there is going to be just the ticket. So I'm gonna let Matt get in there a load or two up here. I got just a little bit of topsoil to strip over there, and then we'll get this buzzed off, get our first lift in here, get her compacted. Well, we'll probably put 2 lifts in here and kind of guess on elevations and then get the laser set up and see where we're at. So guys remember back like 4 or 5 videos, whenever Officer Hoover was down, we were trying to put the brake master cylinder on that. We did get that fixed, so all the brakes are working properly for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th time. I don't even remember. At this point, we got to figure out what our elevation is here, and our elevation is going to be determined by staying as high as we possibly can, but we still got to have decent access into it. We can't have the drop off on the backside, so I think to set that elevation, I'm gonna hop on the dozer and kind of figure out that access coming in. That's probably going to set our transition elevation. I'm out to get a few more loads up here. Obviously, before we get too far up, we need to, need to get those busted off, get those lifts rolled in. This is going to be a building concrete floor, and we'll make sure we get good compaction on this. But she's cooking her own pretty good. We're making progress. kind of got this sculpted out here. A lot of stuff going on in a small little area. I left a little bit of a hump between the rock and where I started cutting there. Once we figure out what this final elevation is, I just want a little bit of dirt left up there. That's some pretty good dirt. Kind of transition everything down. I also got this side higher than that side. The ultimate goal is whatever water we catch here, I'd much rather send it that way to the ditch on the property line than over here into their landscaping. So hopefully that'll all work out. I'm gonna help Matt get 2 or 3 more loads up here. We'll get these piles. We've kind of been dumping these piles up here. They're not wet, but I think they need to sit in the sun for just a little bit, mix it with some of this drier stuff. I think it'll help us compact them here a little bit later. I'm gonna help him get a few more loads up here, and then we'll buzz those off, get everything ran in, and that should give us a pretty good idea of how we're looking. But man, it's hard to complain. The dirt's packing good. It's holding up the truck great, so that's a good sign. The other thing is, it looks like a higher percentage of this slab, or this pad, is going to be cut rather than fill, and that's always a good thing too. So, all right, let's go load some trucks. Loading trucks, or loading that truck, loading bump and dump. I think this is the 4th load I've sent out of here on mine. To the point, I think we need to go up there and hop on the dozer, kind of get our site cleaned up a little bit and see how close we are. Looks like we're going to have plenty of dirt here. This is actually some much better dirt than I anticipated finding down here, so that's good. We'll get him topped off real quick and hop on the dozer, head back up there and see what we got. Enough. Goodness gracious.
No. It's called Dirt Perfect for a reason.
We're not to that stage of the video yet.
See?
All right, Mr. Millennial, you ready to buzz this thing off and see what we got?
I'm ready to watch you buzz this thing off while I go beep, beep, beep.
I don't think we're going to get to grade with what we got, but I'm curious to see how close we are.
I just want you to understand, even though it's Friday, your tolerance is plus or minus a ½ inch, not a full inch.
It's like...
You got this there, buddy?
We're going for an even lift than we are elevation on this. This is for compaction, but we'll be interested to see where we're at. I think a higher percentage of this pad's going to be a cut versus a fill, but yeah, let's find out.
We're all watching. Oh, looks like he's going to that corner first. We better go over here.
Gary jumping there, man. He gets bored. He watches my videos and learns a few things from me.
You're so full of crap. He's so full of crap. Jerry might watch his videos to point out all the crap he does wrong. I like this spot better. It's in the shade. sculpting out in the middle of nowhere rock. We'll put that in our pocket. Last few crumbs on this corner. Foot and a half.
There it is, all buzzed off. It never fails. You dump all those loads of dirt up there and you're like, what am I gonna do with all that dirt? It's way too much. Then you take a dozer and buzz it off, and well, you're not many loads of dirt short. It disappears so fast. But this side over here is probably within about a foot. That side over there, and especially, of course, the thing goes straight here. It tapers off pretty much. I didn't want to get too big a lift in there where we can't get it compacted. Probably got about 18-20 inches in there, foot to 16 inches everywhere else. Now it's going to run through, get the compactor ran on it, get her knocked in here real good. We almost let it sit and dry out too long, but it's going to pack pretty nice. It's going to pack real nice, actually. Very, very happy we found the dirt we did on this job. I was a little worried we weren't going to find some good dirt, but we definitely got some good dirt. So, long story short, guys, I'm going to let Matt get this ran in and compacted. He's going to run it this way, just make sure we get it good. I'm going to run down, clean up the borrow pit a little bit, just in case. Today's Friday. We're getting ready to kick out of here. Talking about a little bit of rain Sunday. I just want to make sure we're not holding water down there, and then we'll be back again to do it all over on Monday. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give her a big old thumbs up. Want to make sure you don't miss out on Monday and what the rest of this project brings. I'd consider subscribing. That way we can catch you on the next one. Later, guys.